Friday edition of PFT Live. We're 9 days away from Super Bowl 60 at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Jason Garrett will be there as part of the NBC coverage, and he joins me this morning. Coach, I thought of you Tuesday because the moment that I heard Bill Belichick didn't make the Hall of Fame, my first thought was, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. It's probably not even worth talking about it. It's so absurd that this guy, when I first heard about it, I said, it's interesting because I thought the debate would be, should we change the name of the trophy to the Belichick trophy? So, and we're
That's
debating whether or
happened.
not, debating whether or not he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's ridiculous.
All right, well, one of the reasons he already should be in is because of the 6 Super Bowl wins, and you've got Super Bowl experience. The coaches this year, first or second year with their respective teams. What advice would you have, especially for a Mike Macdonald who, is young and just getting started, and, Vrabel's been there, done that, has his rings. What would be your advice for Macdonald going into this game?
For him, keep doing what you're doing. What a remarkable job he's done in his 2 years there. And, people talk about establishing culture and identity of the team. It's hard to do. And he's done it immediately. I think you saw signs of it last year. And certainly it's continued this year. And you make a great argument. They've been the best team in the NFL all year long. And his leadership, his impact on that defense, been phenomenal. So I think the mistake that people make as players and coaches when they get into big games is they try to make it something different than it is. I learned that a long time ago from Jimmy Johnson during those Super Bowl teams that we had in the early 90s. As much as you can, you want to kind of make it the same. We all know what the stakes are. We all know what it's all about. But he's done a remarkable job. Keep doing what you're doing. He's got a really good team.
I have been haunted in recent days and weeks with the memory of a comment you made to me many times during the 2024 season when you would lean over while a Vikings game was on after Sam Darnold made a big throw, and you kind of look out the corner of your eye and you'd say, can't let that guy out of the building. And, you were right. You were right, and I think the Vikings are dealing with some stuff now that Sam Darnold has ironed out whatever the issues were that manifested themselves primarily Week 18 last year against the Lions. But, man, you were right because that guy has reached a new level, and the Jets, the Panthers, the Vikings, the 49ers, there's a lot of teams wishing they hadn't let that guy out of the building.
Yeah, it's really hard to get a quarterback to play to the level he's played the last couple of years. And I don't care who the coach is, who the receivers are, all of that. The quarterback has a lot to do with it. And this idea that we're just going to, hey, we'll just put somebody else in there and just let them go play, it's just not the case. And you can just look around the NFL and really the history of the NFL, but certainly in recent years, and you understand that. And, we talked about Belichick earlier. The impact of Brady there, obvious. Everyone talks about San Francisco. What a perfect place that would be. There have been a lot of other quarterbacks who played there that haven't had great success under Kyle Shanahan. And then Brock Purdy, remarkable job. So you have to recognize what these guys are doing and try to keep that environment the same. And you just can't, they're not replaceable parts. And he had played such a high level last year in Minnesota. And, everybody said, oh, my God, the old Sam Darnold's back in those games at the end of the season. Well, go watch the game. They didn't block him very well. They didn't run it very well. I mean, it wasn't just Sam Darnold. It was everybody who lost those games. And I just think it's when you get a guy in place like that, you really got to think long and hard before you let a guy like that go. And I've had great experiences with, seeing Troy Aikman play at an incredibly high level, and Tony Romo and Dak Prescott and those guys. And, what you want to do is continue to cultivate that environment that those guys are in, and certainly recognize what they're doing and try to make that environment as good as you can for them. To say that, oh, the environment's great, we can get anybody in here to do it, I just don't buy it. And I think Minnesota's going through that right now.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.